Hi guys, so I am back to make another video. You might have seen the title already, so you may have a clue of what I'm going to be talking about. Today I'm going to be talking about my biggest fears in regards to my mental health. Now these have sort of come and gone over time, and I hope that some of it may help somebody not feel alone with their fears. I can't talk today. So the first one is people instantly judging me because of my illness. There is so much stigma around mental health issues that I get really scared to tell people sometimes because I don't want to feel like I'm abandoned and have no friends, and it can be really difficult because of the stigma. It's just a constant fear of isolation and being segregated from my peers, and it's always been a fear of mine anyway, but with my mental health issues I fear that if I tell somebody about it, they're all just going to go, nope, don't want to talk to her, don't want to talk to her, she's a weird one. And it can be really difficult when I'm sitting at home by myself and I don't actually have anybody around. There is a quote that I posted on Facebook recently in regards to that whole fear, and it says, "I'm the same person I was before you found out I had mental illness," and I love that so much because I've had so many people come and go in my life because they've heard that I have a mental health issue and they've just gone, nope, I'm done, see you later. So I get a little bit scared to talk to people about it, and I really want to talk to people about it because I really want to lower that stigma, but it's so scary not to feel like you're going to be isolated because of it. Another thing that I really worry about is the stigma and negative comments influencing my illness. And I mean, I read a lot of bad things about mental illness on Twitter and whatnot, and I find it really difficult to read it anyway. But when I'm feeling really poorly and I've got voices going on and whatnot, reading comments can be really tough, and I'm really scared about them influencing my thoughts because I don't want these comments to make me feel like I should kill myself. And I've had it before. I've read things and I've thought I might just give up now, but I refuse to let it beat me, and I don't want these comments to influence my illness at all, and it's really tough to try and avoid these comments. Another one is general stigma and people not understanding, which is frustrating even to me and can be upsetting, but I would like to try and prove to people that my mental health issues is just a diagnosis. I'm still a person, and those stereotypes that come along with the illnesses that I have aren't always true. Like, one thing I was talking about recently was my OCD, and of course when you think of OCD, the stereotypes that come into your head are compulsive cleaning and odd numbers and whatnot, and I don't have that. My OCD is very different with things like making my bed. I have to make my bed at night. If you've seen my short film coursework, you'll know I have to physically make my bed at night time. And there's other rituals and things that I have to do throughout the day, and it can be really tough. And having the stigma and people not understanding is sort of a reason that drives me forward to making videos and talking about it, because I don't want people to feel alone like I used to. A huge fear of mine, which is kind of irrational but also kind of not, is being sectioned. I don't really understand it, admittedly. I don't understand the process of it and whatnot, and I did used to have a huge fear of mental health wards. As you can tell, I don't like to call them mental hospitals because I don't like to include that stigma, because I just think that's horrible. I used to have a huge fear of mental health wards. I really struggled when I was first diagnosed to not panic about going into a mental health ward, and it took me a very long time to work through that, and it all came down to a book I read, which I can't think what it is. I'll put it down in the description below, and I'll probably put it on the screen, tell you what it was. But it was a really good book and it helped me not worry about that anymore. The worry with being sectioned is the sort of stigma and the media coverage of mental health wards, such as psychiatric wards. That's the word I needed! Anyway, the stigma and media surrounding psychiatric wards, because they don't sell them in the best light. The thing is like with the media stigma, it's that typical people screaming, people being held against their will and injected with things, and it terrified me for so long. I think that's where my fear of psychiatric wards came from, is all the like negative media about it. And with the being sectioned, I think I worry that I would be that poorly that would have to be a step that would be taken. I worry that I might get that poorly to the point where I can't control my own care and somebody has to look after me and make all the decisions about my life, which is terrifying. And my last one is that I used to be completely terrified of diagnosis and the stigma of being diagnosed with a mental health disorder. When I first was seeing a GP about my mental health issues, it was really, really scary, and I didn't know what a diagnosis would bring. And it did take me a long time to sort of fully understand that the diagnosis doesn't define me, and it's not really a scary thing. And it's having a disability. And as I've said before, you wouldn't say to an asthmatic if they're having a bad time breathing, but there's lots of fresh air around here. So you shouldn't be saying things to depressed people about being depressed and all this whole, but you've got so much to live for. You're so, when they have like lots of things that, and you don't have to be depressed. There's no reason for you to be depressed. I hate that. So I was always very worried. I was always very worried to have the words put on me, and I was terrified for a very long time about how those words would affect my life. But key in that sentence is that they are just words, and it can be scary, and at times I do find it hard to not worry about those things, but they are just words and they're not going to define you as a person. It's been a weird couple of years, but if I can say anything to come out of these couple of years, is that a mental health diagnosis isn't scary, and it might feel scary at the time, but having a diagnosis can be the best thing to help you move forward and to start your sort of healing and understanding of everything going on. So I hope to be back next week. I say hope, you know what I'm like. I will go, oh, I'm trying to make regular videos, and then I don't come back for months. I will try and be back in a couple of weeks, or next week. Why did I say a couple of weeks? See, I'm already breaking those promises. Don't let me break them. I will be back next week, hopefully with another video, probably mental health related. I'm sorry, I'm doing it. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. Don't forget to share it if you want to share it, and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye! I'm totally not filming another video again in the same clothes and the same outfit. Anyway, you might be wondering why my lipstick is so bright red, and I love bright red lipstick. It's not a Taylor Swift thing. My hair was short before her hair was short. I wanted it to match my red on my NASA, and I kind of think I got there. I'm kind of proud of it. So that was my intentions of red lipstick today, was to match the NASA logo on my t-shirt. Such a sap.